Hey everybody, Max Kevin here. It's the little cutie podcast. It's not too long. Oh, did you guys enjoy the World Series? Did you enjoy watching baseball? Isn't baseball the most exciting sport? Everybody loves baseball. Except all countries except Japan and America. I guess Latin America, it's kind of popular too, you know. Europe doesn't like baseball. They like cricket. Australia doesn't like baseball. They like cricket. India doesn't like baseball. They like cricket. You got to know what a crumpet is to understand cricket. I was watching of course, this is a week later, Okay, I'm kind of slow making these podcasts, I was busy this week. All right, lay off. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is one of the best World Series I've seen. I don't know, maybe just because everybody in Japan over here is into it, because Tani is playing and Yamamoto are playing and Rui Sasaki are playing, the trifecta, the Japanese trifecta are playing there, so it's hot. It's hot here in Japan. Everyone's like, oh my god, Tani's so cute. Oh my god, he's got $700 million. And he married a Japanese woman. Oh, he loves Japan. He could have married a blonde model, but he wanted to have sports babies, so he married a Japanese volleyball player girl. Yeah, I guess too, makes sense that he married a Japanese woman because if you don't speak the same language, it's tough to have a good relationship. Anyway, what was I talking about there? Oh yeah, the World Series there. I feel like the Blue Jays were the better team, but they just lost. They lost even though they were the better team. There were so many, just kind of bad luck and just kind of like mistakes and just kind of like they had so many opportunities. Just they should have won Game 6 and Game 7. I don't know. They blew it. You blew it. Anyway, got some crazy stuff happen. The ball got stuck on the wall there, Game 6 there. That lost them the game. The ball getting stuck on the wall there, What was some other things? The Game 7 went extra innings. Okay, yeah, it was tied. Okay, what was it, Game 2, 3? That went 18 innings. 18 innings that tied for the longest game ever. 18 innings is the longest game ever. It's the second time it's happened. The first time it happened was 2008 against the Dodgers and the Red Sox, I want to say. Yeah, I looked it up, and other than those two games, it hasn't happened for 100 years. And then the Game 7 went extra innings, which has only happened 4 or 5 times or something like that, and the longest one ever was 12 innings. This one wasn't the longest ever; it only got to 11 innings, but of course, Yamamoto, he pitches basically not a perfect game, but he pitches a complete game, and then Game 6, he doesn't pitch a complete game, but it's pretty much shuts him down for most of the game there, and then he comes back as a closer, Game 7. I remember I was watching, I was like, has that ever happened? Has a starter ever come back as a closer the next game to win it all? Yeah, I guess the other Japanese guy, Sasaki, he was closing Game 6, but he maybe had an injury or something. His arm was hurting. It's like, Daddy, my arm is stiff. Can't throw the fastball. So I guess that's why they didn't have, they were warming him up. Sasaki and Kershaw were both warming up, but instead they started to go with Yamamoto, which I don't blame him. That guy's pretty good there. He's much better the pitcher than Ohtani, that's for sure. But Ohtani can hit the home runs. Oh, you can only pitch? Oh, you pitched a complete game in the World Series, but can you hit a home run? Can you hit a home run in Game 5 to tie it up? Yeah, Ohtani did a lot better in the World Series this year because last year he totally choked. He did much better this year. Anywho, I was kind of sad, because the Blue Jays got Vlad Guerrero Jr. Vlad Guerrero Sr. is one of my favorite players from the Angels. He's one of my favorite players. He never wore batting gloves because he liked how the bat feels in his hands. And he'd always swing at everything, He always choked in the playoffs, though. He always did terrible in the playoffs. I don't know. Well, that's the curse of being an Angels fan. Anyway, Dodgers win back-to-back World Series, but they went 0-6 versus the Angels. So I think we all know the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, Los Angeles, North Orange County are the best team, the best baseball team in the world. They beat the Dodgers 6-0. 6 games to 0 games. Later, Dodgers, have fun enjoying the traffic back to LA. Don't ever come back to Los Angeles, Anaheim of North Orange County again. What else is going on here? What else? I got a Japanese comedy show tonight. I've been last couple weekends I've been doing the Japanese open mics there. Now I'm doing a Japanese show. Well, there's going to be paying customers. I hope I don't blow it. Oh God. Japanese comedy is so hard, man. It's so hard just to memorize, because like it's so important to say everything perfectly, and I always just mess up like a little particle or a little pronunciation, and it's like, oh God, I just messed up the whole joke. God damn it. Language is so much harder. This language is so much harder than English. But I do enjoy performing in Japanese because it makes me a better comedian overall, because like it's still kind of scary. It's still kind of scary and difficult. And plus, I guess I kind of realized doing English comedy here in Japan is useless. Like everybody that's selling out shows, they're doing them in English basically, or they're doing them in Japanese basically, So if I want to sell tickets, and plus, me as a foreigner, it kind of makes it funnier, Like when the Japanese people do English comedy, like with the same writing, they kind of get more laughs just because it's funny because they don't speak the language, Like if you took those same jokes and just had a white person say them, they would just not work at all. But if a Japanese person that barely speaks English says them, it's funny, So I kind of got that. I got that going for me in Japanese. Like my writing can be shit, and it'll still be kind of funny because like I can't speak Japanese. I'm just like a white guy trying to speak Japanese. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. Big election in New York. Okay, this time for the podcast to get political. Are you guys ready for the political little cutie podcast? Little cutie political politics podcast. Of course, big election in New York. There, the Zoran Mamdani won the mayor of New York. He's a socialist. He's a democratic socialist. I don't know, whatever the fuck that's supposed to mean. I saw this commercial with him. He's like, what does it mean to be a democratic socialist? It means dignity. You can live your life in dignity. It's like, well, that doesn't mean anything. What does that mean, dude? It doesn't mean anything. That means absolutely nothing. It's, Anywho, I don't really blame people for voting for him. Like the other choice was Andrew Cuomo, who had to resign as the governor for grabbing girls' asses. He was probably a corrupt piece of crap, but he still had to resign, not for being corrupt, but just for being a grab ass type of guy. And I guess there was one Republican guy, but you don't have a chance in New York if you're a Republican. I think he got like 1% of the vote or something like that, but. So anyway, I don't know. It's just these are the two choices in New York. You got the corrupt grabasser and you got the communist guy. That's all you got. This is democracy, huh? Everybody loves democracy. Oh yeah, this is great. This is great choices. We got some great choices. I guess South Park said it best. You got a turd sandwich and a giant douche. Anyway, I think Mamdani there. It's. He's a good example for future politicians. Just promise free shit, and everyone will vote for you. Just blame the rich people and never give it. I think I'm gonna run. I should run for governor of America. What's it called? Oh, the president. Here's my campaign for president. I'll be like, all right, everybody, all these rich billionaires, they're going over to Saudi Arabia. They're paying $10,000 for these Russian prostitutes. And what about you? Well, you gotta pay $20 for some Chinese lady who was snuck into the country by the Mexican mafia, and now she's got to work off her debt by giving $20 hand jobs below the Brooklyn Bridge. That's all you can afford? She didn't even wash her hands. These rich billionaires are getting 10 grand a night Russian prostitutes, and what do you got? You got a dirty dick. Well, not anymore if you vote for me. Because prostitution's going to be free. That's right. The government's going to pay. Free prostitutes for everybody. I think this is really going to work, because I think a lot of the problems in society are because people aren't getting laid. You know, there's a lot of young angry men who aren't getting laid, and if prostitutes are free, you know, you can get the high class prostitutes with big tits. You know, none of this run of the mill human trafficked people from Asia. You know, that's depressing, man. You know, I don't want to get a hand job from a slave lady who's paying off her debt to the mafia. You know, I want to get a hand job from a girl who's well endowed, who's making bank, who does it because it makes more money than working at the Chili's. All right, that's what I want, and it's gonna happen if you vote for me for president. All right, free sex for everybody. Yeah, this guy. Okay, I don't understand. Like, okay, he's running for mayor of New York, and his platform is to make stuff free. But it's like, New York has the most like rich, like the minimum rent there is like $3,000 a month for like a 1-bedroom shit bucket. You know, there's no actual poor people like in poverty in New York. They can't live there. You know, it's not possible for them to live there. No one, I mean, the rent is too damn high. So he's like, he's saying we're going to pay for the buses. It was like, what? You think you got to make $100,000 to even have a 1-bedroom apartment in this? You think that's going to make a difference? I don't know, dude. Hallelujah. Yeah, the great Dave Smith there. I was listening to his podcast there, and he was talking about, you know, these people that just advocate for free shit all the time. It's like, well, why stop there? You know, why stop at free childcare and free buses? Why not just say free housing, free TVs, free everything's free. Everything's free. Why not? Why do we have to pay for anything? Why do I gotta go to work? Why do I gotta pay for anything? You know, I think I said this before. Can you imagine, like, in the year 3000, when like technology is so good, like people only have to work like 10 minutes a week, you know, to afford like all their, you know, you can work 10 minutes and like you can just pay for everything, you know. They're still going to be complaining, you know. They're still going to be protesting, like, oh God, I got to work 10 minutes a week. This is bullshit, dude. Those rich people only work 1 minute a week. I got to work 10 minutes. Where's my free time? Where's my living wage? I can't live on this 10-minute a week job. All right, I want to work only 1 minute a week. God damn it. Anyway, of course, you know, there's the thought that this, you know, everyone's like, oh well, I'm excited to see the experiment. Let's see what happens. Like, well, we already know what happens. It's called the Soviet Union. It was a giant fucking failure. It's called China. It was a giant fucking failure. Everybody died. Everybody starved. We don't need any more evidence. You know? What? God. We already know it's going to end in disaster. You know? Like, we don't need more evidence. Oh, God. Anyway. I don't get too political here. Oh, I don't know. I've kind of grown tired of trying to convince anyone of anything. You know? Like any of my friends that just think anything dumb. It's like, oh, okay, well, all right, well. What's the point, really? No one learns. I mean, if people still haven't learned that making the government bigger is not a good idea, like, there's nothing will ever make them learn, you know? Oh, yeah, okay. I think the biggest thing I don't understand about people that want to make the government big, like left-wing people hate Trump, right? You hate Trump. Trump's a fascist. Trump has, you know. Well, okay, why do you want to make the government bigger then? So people like Trump can have more power? And it's like, okay, well, you're gonna vote in Bernie Sanders or AOC, or, you know, you're gonna vote in the good people or whatever, but they're not gonna be in office forever, you know. The next election, maybe the fascists are gonna win, and now the government's super powerful because you idiots made it powerful. And now you vote in the fascists and everything's fucked. Oh, I just don't understand. I don't understand why people that hate Trump want to make the government more powerful. It just doesn't make any goddamn sense. It's probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard anyone say. Ever. And no matter how many times you tell people how fucking dumb they are for thinking this, they'll never free prostitutes for everybody. Thanks for listening.